So this is the truck that I did partial trade, sold my 6.7 F450 for. This is essentially how I got it from him. We've cleaned it up a little bit, and it had those visor things on the windows. You can see the adhesive is still on this one. I got to get the remover wheel out to get that off. But we went ahead and took those off. The back two were broken. I think he rolled his dog's head up in one of them on accident, and then the truck actually got broken into a couple years ago, and they broke the other one getting into the truck. And so I took those off last weekend or something like that, and then I had the windows tinted, the front windows tinted, and since I took those off, I was debating on whether I should take the front ones off. I told the tint guy, like, hey, if those are in your way, just rip them off there, and I'll remove the adhesive. And he said, okay, yeah, it'd be easier if they weren't on it. So he went ahead and ripped those off. Like I said, I got to just get the remover wheel out to do that. So I've got a set of different wheels for it. Sorry if you're a fan of these wheels, but they're absolutely hideous. They're terrible, and they're 20. Which some people probably like this setup, which is fine. I mean, it's not a bad looking setup as far as the offset and that type of thing goes. I will never say that those wheels look good, but if you don't care about how the wheels look, then it's fine. But we're gonna take the steps off because I'm not a huge fan of the steps. He's actually gonna take them off for me. He wants to keep them. The mirrors, it's funny, these mirrors actually came off of one of my old trucks that I got in an accident with, and this mirror got broken. And so I replaced the mirrors. It's kind of broken all over the place there. I replaced the mirrors, and he's like, hey, you want to give me those mirrors? Sure. So I gave them to him. So I've got a set of stock mirrors to go back on it for now. We're going to lift the front up a little bit more. I don't know if I went over that already, but it's got a 6-inch lift on it, but the lift is probably 15 years old. I think he bought it from his boss, which bought it when it was about a year old, and I think he did the lift and everything on it right after he bought it. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty positive. Anyway, the lift is a minimum 10 years old, if not older, and it probably has 100,000 miles on it. It also used to have a buck stop on the front of it, so that little bit of extra weight. And I don't know if you can tell, the truck's got a decent amount of, it's kind of hard to show you in video with it, but the truck's got a decent amount of rake. And so I've got some front end stuff to lift the front end up, make it look make it not stink bug, and then also help with the heavier offset with the new wheels that I've got. And I think we're going to build a set of track bars for the rear. It's got some pretty bad axle route, so we're going to get that taken care of. The interior is halfway okay. It's not picking it up on camera, but the body has got a lot of redneck pinstriping. The interior isn't bad. It needs to be cleaned up. I'm gonna see if the upholstery guy can like dye this and clean the seats up a little bit. And you can kind of see it's got some like rub through from sliding in and out. And then let's see. The driver's seat, normal, it's got 6 inches, or supposed to be 6 inches of lift, and so from sliding in and out, the seat's torn in here too, and it's kind of just roached looking. So this is getting replaced 100%. This is getting replaced, and then it's got a rub spot in the wheel, and it's kind of just worn all the way around. It's supposed to be gray, it kind of looks black. So but yeah, we're gonna get the steering wheel recovered, get the seat recovered, get that stuff all fixed up, and then I'll probably just send it down the road to the detail shop and have them basically cut and buff, do a 3-stage polish on the whole truck. It looks like it'll probably come out pretty good. I might end up having the hood repainted because it's got some decent rock chips, like that spot right there. And then there's one up there too. He took really good care of his stuff. But he did use it as a truck. It was a tool to him. So it's not in the best shape, but it's not in terrible shape, and it's not beyond fixing. It's still in good enough shape to be able to fix it and make it look good, and that type of thing. So we're gonna, like I say, get it fluffed up and make it nice looking and clean and all that kind of stuff. Fix a couple of little things it needs, like track or sway bar bushings in the front end and that type of thing. Just kind of fix some stuff up, and just kind of, you know, make it good again, you know, fix the stuff that it's needed for a while. Basically, like I say, I'm going to lift the front end up back to where it's supposed to be. It's probably at about a maybe 4 or 5 inch worth of lift in the front right now. And you can tell by it needs front shocks, which I'm going to throw on it. You can tell by how much shock is coming, you know, is out right there, just at stagnant height, that the front springs are sagged quite a bit. So, but yeah, it's an 04. It's got, really the only two things that are done to it is it's got a KC stage 1.5. I think I might already went over that the other day, but it's got a KC stage 1.5 on it. It's got a FAS on it. It's got an edge insight, 5-inch exhaust, the gear head tuning, you know, all that good stuff. It's got head studs, and you know, everything's been done to it, and everything was upgraded. You know, if a part failed, he upgraded it. So, but yeah. So anyway.
Update on the 6-liter, if Michael hasn't gone over it already. We bought it, we immediately took it and cleaned it up. Michael did the outside, I did the inside, not all of the inside. The back seat is still pretty dirty, we haven't touched that yet. I wiped down the dash, both of the front seats. So this was not great. This was a brown, maybe, just covered in grease and all sorts of nasty stuff. That took a couple go rounds on that before that got clean. And then the passenger seat over there, that wasn't nearly as bad as this driver's seat. So the driver's seat I did 2 or 3 times with leather cleaner to try and get all of the grease and staining out of it, and it looks like a totally different seat now. It's just not as clean as that passenger one over there. And then the steering wheel, oh my goodness, don't even get me started about the steering wheel. So let me turn this around here and see if you can see. So this right here was easiest to clean. I think it's because this part got touched the least out of the whole steering wheel. But I mean, you can see that the leather is, you know, it's worn down, and up here's the worst. But it is so much cleaner now than it was before. Everything in here, in the front half of the truck, before, when you touched it, it was sticky and gross and grimy, and now it's all nice and smooth and very clean, and I'm very, very happy with the way that it turned out. So shout out to McGuire's and all of their products for letting us get this truck as clean as we did. Oh, the windows have been tinted. You probably can't, oh, there you go, maybe you can see that. The windows have been tinted. The windshield is not, I think, 20%, something like that. I don't know what Michael normally tints the windows. There's a couple of spaces that I couldn't get as clean as I would have liked to have gotten them. The dash is one of those spaces. I don't know if you can see anything up there. I think the reason for that was just because it's so sun faded and worn down, and it's hard to really get in there and get it clean. So I'll go back over the top of the dash again. The door panels, I think they're as clean as they're gonna get. Let's go. I think these are as clean as they're gonna get. I did try and get down into the door pockets as best I could, but I am limited on that just because it's such an awkward angle to try and like get down in there with a rag. Okay, so now that you got all the before shots, let me show you some of the after that we did here. So the door panels are immensely cleaner than they were. Mind you, this wasn't a full detail that we did. It was mostly just all of the touch surfaces, I guess. So seats, steering wheel, door panels, cup holders, center console, everything that you come in contact with. This was it was an in-depth detail, but it was just the necessities. So the floors are still pretty dirty. I need to shampoo and scrub those. The floor mats. I don't know what we're gonna do with those. They're gonna get cleaned no matter what, but I don't know if they're gonna stay in the truck. The headliner is pretty dirty. Let me step up on the headliner is pretty dirty. Both of the sun visors are pretty dirty, and the reason that the seats were so the reason that the whole truck was so so gross was because I think that he smoked in it, which is actually surprising because it doesn't smell like it. Mind you, he has not smoked for a while. He quit, and so I think that gave the smell time to fade away. But you see, there's stuff like this that I just could not get out, no matter how many times I went over it. I know there's a couple other tactics that I'm gonna have to try, something about bathroom cleaner or something, and a soft bristle brush to get that out, to get really in there deep between them. But everything came out really nice. I know I already showed the center console twice, but I do have a video that I'll throw in there that, like, see, like this, I need something that I can get, maybe that's just worn, maybe that won't come out, but maybe a soft bristle brush will do better than a microfiber. This front part's about as clean as it's gonna get with what I had to work with as well. I think a lot of stuff's been spilled. The cup holders, oh my goodness, don't even get me started on the cup holders. So they've still got quite a bit of nastiness in them. I promise I did everything I could, shy of going through a whole roll of shop rags, trying to get those cleaned, but you couldn't see, this one specifically, you couldn't see the bottom. It was just a layer of this nastiness that you see in the side here. I gave up, but I ran out of motivation. I was like, this is nasty. This cup holder as well, this center part where, you know, change and stuff ends up, this was the same as that edge layer there. That got cleaned up. Michael actually did that one. All this got wiped down. You know, every surface that we're going to be touching regularly is clean now. The handles, all this stuff. Everything that gets touched all the time and has just grease, years of grease buildup from grease and oils on hands. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, let's show you the door pockets, I guess. I think I got some before. Oh, there's, what's that? A granola bar. I think I got some before shots, and they're still not great, but they're better than they were. You know, we need to, that tray we're probably just gonna pull out completely to clean instead of trying to clean it in here, just because there's so much stuff in it. That seat Michael did a little bit with the leather cleaner, but we decided that was too big of a task. Front windows are all clean. We didn't do the back windows. Oh, okay, so back to the outside of the truck then. So this had the rain guards visors, so you can crack your window when it's raining and the truck stays dry. We pulled those off. Michael pulled them off because I can't reach that far. So he took those off and took an eraser wheel and cleaned all the adhesive. The front ones he took off as well, but we haven't cleaned those off yet. Oh, the clean spot I was going to show you. Let's see if you can see it in the bed. Catch that? It is right here that we took a buffer to and some rubbing compound. Just did a little test spot there. So now we have to, when we find time, we have to go through and make this shiny little spot right here where the bench is and the reflection, make that shiny. Hey, look, our groceries, don't look at those. I moved those out of the truck so I could show it to you. Do that to the entire truck. These steps are absolutely coming off. Neither of us like those. Check that out. See all those squirrel lines in there? Squirrel lines? Squirrel marks? I don't know what you call those, but yeah, a good buff. Let's see if we can see those where the other side is here. No, because the sunlight's not hitting it. But just the difference in the reflection between right there and right there is just absolutely crazy. Let's go back over here. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, let's take that down because I'm probably going to use this as a thumbnail.